Good evening, KMOW members. This is Philip Manyara Getata, the outgoing chairman, uh, and I would like to thank all the members of KMOW, and especially the original members who formed this group about 5 years ago. For those who joined KMOW in August, those are our latest brothers. KMOW was formed 5 years ago. We had gone for a function at the Boys and Girls Hall, and within that function, we came up with an idea that we need to form a group, a men's group. We didn't have a name initially, but the name came later. The name came Kenyan Men of Worcester came a little bit later, but the group was formed in that function. This group was initiated by myself, Chris Kebadi, and Pastor Christopher Kamau. Those are the people who came up with this idea. And Chris was the MC during that function, and Pastor Christopher Kamau was preaching. And I went and sat somewhere, and on my WhatsApp, started forming a group. I just had that belief that we can come together and form a men's group. And KMO started in a very humble, simple way, and that's what we have as a formidable group today. Um, from that hall, we held several meetings inside that hall, and we came up with an unofficial officials that were not elected, but who just sacrificed and gave their names. And together we sat in that hall, I think twice, before we got a room to meet. And I would like to thank Michael Shege. You gave us your boardroom. We met, we deliberated, we came up with our constitution, the rules, and what we thought would guide the men's organization. For one, I would like us to congratulate ourselves. Never look down at this group. In this America, in every town that I've gone, every city, they don't have what we have. So we are very proud. We might not have done anything, but we are proud to have come together as brothers. The main objective of the first founders of this group and the officials was to lay a strong and dependable foundation, which will make a KMO group a good group, an example to be followed by other cities, and an example to be admired by other men in other cities. In any beautiful structure or building that you have ever seen, it doesn't stand that way because it's just a beautiful building. It stands that way because of the good, firm foundation that that building has. So our job was to make sure that the foundation that we laid for this group would be a good foundation, a firm foundation that will enable the men who will take over from us to have a good platform to deliberate their own issues. The first officials were, if I can remember their names, if I miss your name, I'm sorry. I did not do that intentionally. But the first group was Chris Kefadi, the officials, Michael Shege, George Ngare, Nduru Nyamanduru, Richie Kiarie, Victor Wawero, James Karago, JMO, Kamau Njoroge, the lawyer, our um, we usually refer to him as our legal consultant. Gilbert Moshiri, Steve Mbera, Jacob Otieno Kauba, Ezra Mwangi, Evans Mwangi, Edward Gidu. I still think even if I missed one or two, those were the original officials that started KMOW. We met in Michael Shege's office, and we came up with a constitution, although not a good one, but which can be rectified anytime to make a better constitution that will make this group succeed in future. This group is not meant for us. This group is meant for our generation. One day they'll sit down and say, if our fathers, our forefathers, our grandfathers, one day they sat and started this group, it can grow into a bigger and better organization. If they find it at that level, they will definitely calm down history and they will see where this all started. From there, we held the interim committee for a year, and then we did our first election, which I was elected as the chairman. I did not have a vice by then, but we came in now with Victor. Thank you, Victor. A very honest young man. Victor Wawere, I respect you. Very honest. Victor, I don't know how he ended up became a treasurer, but I remember he collected money the first time, and that made Victor our treasurer. Very honest, up to date. James Karago became our secretary, and that's the way we formed. Kebadi was there, and Gary, and we sat down some few nights, maybe 2 times in a week. I remember we had to pass Dunkin' Donut buying coffee because most of us were from work to Michael's office to keep us awake. And we came up with this group. We did what we could for 2 years, and then we held an election, which was our last election prior to this. And I was also elected the chairman for my second term. And that is why I'm leaving, because I've served my 2 terms, and you'll find some of the officials who are here with KMOW who have served 2 terms, they're also leaving. And now I came up with a vice. Very nice young person. I really like you, Ezra Mwangi. Very able. And I'm proud to leave this group to young people. I want to see this group grow. I will sit down somewhere in my old age and admire what you will be doing, because our main function was to lay the foundation. The rest can happen. The skies are the limit. Everything in this America is possible. It can be done. Victor came in as the treasurer. James JMO Karago also came in as the secretary. And from there, we formed committees because we realized that we have a lot of issues and we needed to split and segment them in groups. And we found ourselves doing things like bereavement every now and then, which was not in an organized manner because we couldn't know what was going on. We just did. And the bereavement was brought about when we lost our first member, Wilson Kago. We have lost a few. I think from Wilson we lost Gashunga. From Gashunga we lost Devi. From Devi we lost Jimmy Thuo. If I've forgotten anybody else, forgive me. I think we have lost about four members who are initially members of Kenyan Men of Worcester. And the chairman of the Welfare and Bereavement Committee is Michael Shege. We also have an investment committee led by Al Wawero. We have an education committee led by Daktari Andrew Kamau Mwangi. Our legal consultant still is Kamau Njoroge. Elections committee, who are behind the scene of this election, is not an easy job. I'm an observer in that committee. And let me tell you, it's not, we should congratulate them and thank them for doing a good and commendable job. The registration, who did not register, who has voted, next time we will do it. But it has to happen because it's part of our constitution. An election has to happen. This took a little bit longer because KMOW's elections are supposed to be done in August. The recruitment of new members is done in July, going into August. And then before end of August, we do the elections with the new members. So we can recruit new members the next year without an election. So the terms in office is 2 years. So we can do election, we can recruit new members, do election, and then the second year we just do the recruitment of new members. So from there, we have our Sergeant at Arm, Samuel Gidenji. Thank you very much. You at the beginning of this group, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Some members who are KMOW members left just because of the noise. By morning, you wake up, there are about 200-300 messages, and it was a formation. It was a foundation. And I kept talking. I kept telling people, we have to stick together. And we had to have a sergeant at arm. Yedenji, you did a good job. That's not an easy department to do. Within the officials, we have other people. Jacob Kauba Otieno is still there. Julius Kahera, Daktari, I think he's your Daktari Mwalimu. Ras Boni Kibe, thank you very much on the welfare. I remember you were very efficient with when we did the football tournament and we had Mbuzi and you and Ezra did a good job then. We have Bernard Giadi. They are in the election committee. Stephen Kagodo Kienja. We have Kepler Katumbi and others. Brothers, being together means a lot. When you see people fighting together, it's as simple as a family. We all come from families. And we could fight with my brothers, my sisters over very small issue, just because my brother used my plate, or my sister did not sat on my position in a certain, in our house. Very simple, minor fights. But that did not break us. That did not make my brother stop being my brother. That did not make my sister stop being my sister. We came from the same stomach, from my mother's stomach. That's how we became a family. We in KMOW have come from one stomach. Our mother, Kenya. We come from Kenya. That's our mother. That's the stomach we came from. We were born there. That's our origin. So the small fights that happen, the commotion, the misunderstanding, it doesn't mean that we break. That cohesiveness is required. KMOW can do better than what we have done. And I think if I give it a percent, I think we have done about 20, 30%. We have loads and loads of things that we can do in future. The next office that is coming, they're not coming up with constitution, they're not laying any foundation. They can come up with projects and start working immediately. Please, things can be done if we stop rubbing one another. It's just a simple agreement. And I believe we cannot all want or like one thing. There is somebody or a group of people who are interested in stocks. If we talk about investment or doing things in this group, has nothing to do with any other business. They are only interested in stocks. So if we can segment groups according to our likings, I would like to do real estate. Somebody else wouldn't. If we come up with those suggestions and whoever is interested, it's very hard to lead a group of 200 people into one thing. It calls for a lot of agreement, a lot of agreement. If we agree to do one thing that will involve finance, it's not as simple as I can say it. It's usually, we can buy a house, we can build, we can buy a hall. The question has always been, are we prepared? Because any financial institution you approach, they will ask for your down payment. If, like, for example, there is a building that was sent, I think, Grafton, Millbury area. That thing was going for about 1.2. If we went to a bank and they asked for a 10% down payment, that was 120,000. Do we have it? That's what I call being ready. Being ready. We can put money with no intentions, but we are getting ready to do something. That is what we call getting ready. But we cannot go to the bank and then they tell us, if you want to buy that building, you have to come up with 120,000. That's when we are rushing back to our pockets for 120 divided by 200. You can do the math. You cannot come up with that just once. Boom. No. But if we do kidogo kidogo hujaza kibaba, we build up to that. It calls for a lot of integrity with the people who will take care of the money, a lot of trust with us, the members, a lot of trust. Because I've seen groups come and break because of something called trust. So, KMOW, I'm handing over to the next chairman that you will give me. And I'm not going. I will be here. I will make sure that I give my 100% support to the incoming chairman and the incoming officials to see that whatever idea they come up with, whatever project they come up with, I, as Manyara, will be behind them and support them fully. That's the only thing and gift I can give to KMOW. Support, support, support until we make it. We might not be talking the same. If we come up together strongly as a group, 1-2 years to come, it will be a group that was formed and it has grown into an unimaginable size, and it has acquired or achieved loads of projects. I would like to thank all of you members for trusting me, giving me that trust for 2 years and another 2 years and 1 year as an interim chairman. So I've served this group for 5 years. Thank you, and God bless you, and never, never give up. Anybody in this group can become a chairman. I did not go to school for it. You don't have to go to school for it. It's just integrity, being honest, and being real. That's all. And I hope we will all adapt to that, give support to the next incoming office, and see that they succeed. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki sana, sana, sana. Let's meet on the streets, tukule kanyama, tukunywe chai, tuongee moja mbili. That's the way we can only build ourselves. Never give up as a man, and never be the problem of a man as a man. Asanteni na Mungu awabariki sana, sana. Thank you very much. Your chairman, Philip Manyara Gitata, signing off as your chairman. Asante.